Yo, what's good, Griffin13 here back in today, and today, guys, we are here to talk about all the brand new and returning cars to Forza Horizon 4 with the Series 19 update. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am so excited for this update. I really am so excited. One of my all-time favorite cars is finally coming back to the game. I am so excited for it. I really cannot wait until this Thursday when this car becomes available. But I will say, there are 5 brand new cars coming into the game. We got 4 in the festival playlist, 2 in summer, and 2 in winter. So if you don't want to play during autumn or spring, you don't really have to. But I will say there are some rewards in there that you may not want to miss out on. And then we have one brand new car coming to one of the expansions. Now, of course, you can probably figure out what expansion this is. It is going to be the LEGO Speed Champions expansion, and we are going to be getting a brand new LEGO car. Now, if you paid attention at all to the leak list that came out, about a month or 2 ago, there was one LEGO car on the leak list, and that is the LEGO Bugatti Chiron. That's right, guys, we are getting a LEGO Speed Champions Bugatti Chiron. That is awesome. I can't wait to see this. Now, they did say that it's not going to be an exact replica of the Chiron. They made it as close as they possibly could, but when they were building the car, because the car is inherently smaller and doesn't share all the same dimensions as the Chiron does, the wheelbase is a little bit different, which has led to a little bit more oversteer in the car. So 1500 horsepower and a little bit more oversteer is going to be a little bit of fun. But how you get this car is after you complete the Master Builder's House. Now, you don't have to do everything, of course. Once you get the Master Builder's House complete, a new race will appear, and it is the LEGO Bugatti Chiron Speed Champions race, where you will be taking the LEGO Chiron and racing against an AI driver in a real Chiron. So with that little bit of oversteer in there, it's gonna be fun. It is going to be fun. But now let's go ahead and take a look at our festival playlist rewards, and we're going to start off with our series rewards because there are some pretty cool rewards there. Coming in at 50% completion, we have a returning rare car. This car is so rare that right now over in the auction house, it's going for about 16 mil, so it is worth a pretty penny, and that is the ATS GT. This car is basically an Italian supercar that has the heart of a McLaren. It's so funky looking, or not funky looking. It looks really cool, actually. It's kind of subtle, I would say. For a supercar, it's a little bit subtle. Reminds me a lot of a McLaren, but it also throws a little bit of that Italian flair at you. I really quite enjoy this car. Then moving into 80% completion, we have another fairly rare car worth about 10 million credits, the Bmw E92 M3 GTS. Now, this car is a vehicle that I kind of like as a drift car. I know it's meant to be like a track version of the M3, but in my honest opinion, I still feel like the tail gets out quite easily on these things. So I kind of just keep it as a drift car. It is a pretty damn good one if you can build it right. I like it as that way. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, how do you guys build your M3 GTS? I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. Then moving on into the seasons, we have summer, which will last from this upcoming Thursday, February the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, to next Thursday, or the following Thursday, that is, February the 20th. And coming in at our 50% completion, we have one of my favorite cars, arguably one of the best cars ever built, and it is the 2012 Lexus LFA. That's right, boys, Lexus is back, and they're hitting it with a big one. They're bringing the LFA to us. I am so excited for this. Jeremy Clarkson has called this the best car he has ever driven, which is really surprising about the fact that Jeremy Clarkson could fit inside this car, because I've seen one in real life. They're not very big. Like, this car is honestly a little teeny tiny thing, but it looks so damn good. It looks so dang good. I absolutely love this car. It's so much fun. It's quirky looking, and in fact, Toyota lost money every single one of these they sold. They lost money on every single version. These things weren't cheap. They cost like $400,000, and they were losing money on that. That's insane. They're so rare that people buying used one of these, like, they've actually appreciated in value. When it comes to cars, you normally think about depreciation. The Lexus LFA has appreciated significantly. I've seen these go upwards of $800,000 to even $1 million a piece. That is insane. And a fun fact for you, in 2019, Lexus sold 3 more of these. They sold 3 brand new LFAs to some lucky customers. God, I wish I was that lucky. I wish I had the money to afford an LFA. That would be really nice. Watch more videos, my dudes. Then coming in at 80% completion, we have the Porsche 917 LH. This is the one that has the psychedelic design on it. And I will say this, it's going for quite a bit of money. So if you know you are going to be around for summer and you're going to complete 80% of it, you know, it's worth $8 million in the auction house right now. It's really the only car that's worth a whole lot right now in summer. But I would take advantage of it, you know, get some money and clear up the room in your garage for when you get this one. Then we have our seasonal co-op trial event where you'll be able to pick up the Aston Martin Vanquish Zagato. This is another rare car, which I was surprised is not worth a whole lot. I love the way this car looks. I do love the Zagato Astons. I think they are very, very pretty, and I love just the design language of Aston Martin in general. This car is a lot of fun to drive. I love Astons in general, so I'm a little bit biased on that point. Then we have our playground games where you'll be able to pick up a Sleepy Emote, probably the worst emote in this entire game. Then we have 3 seasonal championships, Muscle Bound, It's Never Over with a Rover, and So Last Decade. In Muscle Bound, you'll be able to pick up the Buick GSX. In So Last Decade, you'll be able to pick up the Rossian Q1. And in our final championship, It's Never Over with a Rover, you get to pick up none other than the Rover Sd1. Now, I'm not super familiar with Rover as a company. They weren't very prominent here in the States. They did sell this car in the United States, but I've never seen one or really even heard of it. I thought this was like pretty much a European exclusive here. But the thing with this car is it was made by British Leyland, of course, back in the day, which at the time was Jaguar, Rover, and also Triumph. So it's a British car from the 1970s. More importantly, it's a British sports car from the 1970s. So something is obviously going to break on this thing. But it is a pretty dang good car. It did fairly well in racing as well. It also had a little bit of time in rally. But it ended up getting passed over by the MG Metro 6R4, which is honestly not too bad because that is a damn good rally car. I mean, that is a really good rally car. Enough that they took the engine out of the 6R4 and they put it into the Jaguar, oh, what is it, the XJ220? No, it's not an XJ220. What is it? It is an XJ220. After that, we move on into autumn, which, speaking of autumn, there is going to be a custom race, or another one of those, you know, showcase remixes going on, where it is going to be the Pillar of Autumn, which if you know anything about Halo, you know that is basically going to be the Halo race, but this time in autumn. Honestly, not a bad name. Not a bad name. I dig it. I dig it. But coming in at a 50% completion reward, we have a car that many people missed out on, but also a lot of people also really wanted, and that is the Ferrari 488 Pista. A lot of people really wanted this car when it was first announced, but the thing is, though, they kind of put it out like during Christmas, or was it Thanksgiving? I can't remember. It was one of those holidays, right? Problem is that I was out of town at that time, so I could not get the Pista, and I've been checking the auction house all the time trying to get one, and I cannot get my hands on one, so I'm very excited that this car is coming in, and you know that I'm going to have to try and do a video with the 488 Pista versus the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. We gotta try it. We gotta try it. At 80% completion, you have the Porche Cayman 718 GTS. Honestly, I think the Cayman is so underrated. It really should be above the 911 in my opinion. I think it is that much better. For a seasonal co-op trial event, you can win the Volkswagen IDR. Probably one of the best handling cars in the game. Not very quick. I think it's got like a top speed of 140 stock, but man, it will take off like a rocket. This thing, when you go around a corner, you will pass everybody. Absolutely everybody. For your playground games, you can pick up a Golden Cowboy Hat. Not that any of us really care. Then we have our 3 championships. We have Nissan Cup, Heavyweight Championships, and Meet and Yeet. I love that name, Meet and Yeet. Oh man, but our rewards are for Nissan Cup, the Nissan GTR LM, which is a pretty dang good car. For Meet and Yeet, you have the Illumicraft Forza Edition, which get that Forza Edition garbage out of here. Nobody wants that. And then for Heavyweight Champions, you'll be able to pick up the Quartz Regalia Type D. I find it kind of interesting that they're actually giving out the Type D as a reward. Consider the fact that you can get it from just the regular Quartz Regalia, and it's not that hard to do so. I've got 3 Quartz Regalias right now and only 1 Type D. Maybe I should also take those Type Ds out and try and sell them for some extra cash, because apparently I was able to get it up to 11 mil. But I think that's because the Type Ds in general just are worth like 11 mil off the bat. I feel like they made that car kind of special in that case, where it has a set max price like all the other cars, you know, fluctuate based on the markets. That car doesn't really seem to do so. It's kind of interesting. Then we move on to winter, which will last from February the 27th through March 5th. And in winter, coming in at 50% completion, we have a car that we were able to actually figure out a little early. You know, they put out the thumbnail for Forza Monthly, so we knew what this car was going to be. And at 50% completion, we have the Aston Martin Vulcan AMR Pro. I've kind of already said my piece on this in another video, but I honestly kind of am wondering why it's here. It's really not all that much different from the regular Vulcan. We'll have to see how the aerodynamics on this car work, because that's basically all that's been done to this. They added some extra extreme aero to keep this car on the track, and then they also shortened up the gears a little bit, which we can probably do over in the garage if we want to change that up anyway. So it'll be interesting to see if this car is any better at handling, because I kind of stay away from the regular Vulcan at this point, because I always felt that it was just too quick for the amount of aero on it, that it could still get the back end out a little bit too easily. So we'll have to see how that car ends up going down. And at 80% completion, you have the Porsche 906 Carrera 6. So that is honestly a pretty dope car. Not very rare though, so I mean, if you have one, you could probably put it up in the auction house, make some money, and just clear your garage space. That's what I'm probably going to do. But then for our seasonal co-op trial event, you have the Renault Alpine A110. So that is pretty nice. And the new one, of course, you know, I like that car so much. I think it looks so pretty. But there were so many people complaining about it for some reason. I don't know why. It was a new, like, actually unique looking car to the game. I love it. I really, really do. For Playground Games, you can win a Renault Clio Forza Edition. Now get that Forza Edition garbage out of here. And then we have the following 3 championships. We have Is It a Bird? Is It a Plane? Magnum Lotus, and we have Pista Cake, which I'm really surprised Pista Cake is on here. Like, they should have put the 488 Pista in this spot. I honestly think that would have been the best idea. For Magnum Lotus, you'll be able to pick up the Lotus 211, which is not worth anything at all. And at Pista Cake, you'll pick up the Morning Jog Emote. I didn't even know that was actually an emote, so kind of confused about that. But then we have, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Supervan! We are getting the Ford Supervan 3, which honestly, this was the first time that Ford built a Supervan to promote a new model versus what they were previously doing, which was to try and promote a model at the end of its life. So it was already an existing model. But the Supervan 3 kind of looks like a Supervan. Like, if you were to picture a Supervan in your head, that's what Supervan 3 is. It is absolutely crazy looking. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of those Bazooka vans over in Japan. It's not quite as crazy as that, and it, you know, actually it's nowhere near as crazy as those, but I really could see someone in Japan, if they were able to get their hands on Supervan 3, they would Bazooka the shit out of it, and it would look so freaking dope. I mean, well, for a Bazooka car, I'm not really into the Bazooka scene. Sorry if you guys are, but it's a little bit too much for me. A little too much for me. Then we finally move on into the spring season, which will last from March 5th through March 12th. Hey, a season actually in the right season. But at 50% completion, you'll be able to pick up the Porsche 356 SL, which is actually worth $8 million. So if you do want to pick that up. Now that actually, I'm seriously thinking about this right now again, because we last series we got the 356 Emery C Special. Now we're getting the 356 SL. Oh man, they're just kind of toying with us there, because honestly, we got too many 356s. We got the SL, we got the Emery Special, and now there's also the convertible version. You know, there's so many Porsche 356s. It's absolutely crazy. At 80%, you'll be able to pick up the Lotus Elise 111S, which is worth $4 million, which I was kind of surprised. I thought the 111S was more of a kind of pretty common rare car. I knew it was rare, but I didn't realize it was that rare. Then, and the trial, we have the Fiat Dino for our seasonal co-op trial event, which I was really surprised. At one point, the Fiat Dino was the rarest car in Forza Horizon 4. Now, it's only 76,000 credits. I sold mine for 20 mil not too terribly long ago. It was the rarest car in the game. Then they kind of talked about it being the rarest car in the game, and everybody wanted one all of a sudden. And honestly, if you don't have one, you could probably go buy one in the auction house. But as well, you're going to be getting one in the seasonal co-op trial event. Then for our Playground Games, we finally actually get something worthwhile in the form of the Chevrolet Colorado Zr2, which is a pretty expensive pickup truck. I love me some Chevy pickup trucks. I almost bought a Colorado. Like, I've told you guys this plenty of times before. I bought a Silverado, but if it weren't going to be for the Silverado, I looked at Colorados, I looked at Tacomas, I looked at Tundras, I looked at 4Runners. Even 4Runners, you know, that's not really a pickup truck, but damn, I would have really loved to have had a 4Runner. So that is pretty cool. Then we have Singing in the Rain, Volkswagen Cup, and Flight of the Valkyries for our seasonal championships. For Springing in the Rain, sorry, bad pun, I was just going to say Singing in the Rain. I'm singing in the rain. You'll be able to pick up the air vocals horn, maybe? Or is it a mote? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really care about this because I probably already have it. But then for our Volkswagen Cup, you're going to be able to pick up the Volkswagen Carmagia. So that is pretty damn awesome. That is another very rare car, worth about $8 million over in the auction house. I saw one of these at a car show not too terribly long ago, and honestly, it was one of the coolest looking things. That chopped the roof, slammed it down on the ground. It looked freaking awesome. Then finally, we have Flight of the Valkyries, where you'll be able to pick up the Zenvo ST1. Now, the Zenvo ST1 is normally unlocked by completing World's Fastest and reaching level 10. Now, the thing is, though, I have not actually done that yet. I'm really surprised I haven't done that yet. There are still, I think, like 2 or 3 different like stories that I have not yet done here in Horizon 4. I really need to get on that. I need to sit down, make my Let's Play videos for that, and get it out of the way. I know I've got another one of the Lego videos. It's actually currently uploaded. I need to go ahead and make it public for you guys, but I've been waiting because I've been busy doing all these other videos for you guys recently. But that'll probably go live sometime this week, but I'll have to get on that World's Fastest so that we can get that Zenvo ST1 sometime before we get to spring. So I need to hop on that. I need to get that done. So anyway, though, that's where we're wrapping things up for today. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what is your favorite brand new car coming to Horizon 4 with Series 19. Do you like the Lexus LFA, the Rover Sd1, the Supervan 3, the Aston Martin Vulcan AMR Pro, or the Lego Bugatti Chiron? I want to hear your guys' comments down in the comment section down below. I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. But if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Script113 and Instagram.com/Script113. If you like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.
Say goodbye.